Nobody would have thought that I would be the one. Rhyner, sports talk.
Baseball, 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 baseball.
Oh, with the big mic. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Okay, now I get it.
We got a lightning strike, boys. What happened over there, Grego? We had a little lightning strike right outside the window.
All right. Here's a tip for all these Americano League teams.
Wait, you said tip?
Yeah, tip.
Okay.
With a P.
Keep jamming.
The ticket, colon, nothing but a big Gen X jerk-off sake.
This is a cool night or what? Although somebody would hear that and go, bullshit.
I'm back, bitches.
It can't be. It can't be time to go yet.
It's time, Shoopy.
Okay, you asked for it.
We did.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Your Dark Companion. Let's see. This is the 151. Episode number 151 of YDC. And we are coming down in the afternoon of the 10th of September. Okay.
I kind of thought that's where he was going at first, but
Yeah.
got to make sure.
Well, I bring that up just because in case something happens between now and whenever this runs, that everybody can't say.
Live.
Yeah, we are live.
Okay, well, still,
But for those that watch later, I suppose.
yeah, there are always those who consume later.
That's fair.
But we're live for right now. But for those who consume later, they won't be able to say, "Man, you didn't even know about that."
Right.
Well, yeah, I didn't know about it. Hadn't happened yet. So screw you, man.
Yeah. You hear us?
We have Shoopy back with us today.
Yay. Good to be with you.
We have Ashley. We have Becca. You know what else we've got coming up here?
What?
In the not too distant future? The start of the Great State Fair of Texas. And when I think of the Great State Fair of Texas, my thoughts go to one man and one man only. And that man is with us here today. He is Mitchell Glieber.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good name, by the way.
Thought you were going to say Big Tex.
I probably should have said him, but he's not here today. You are.
Good point. Thank
So
you.
I'm just trying to stay in the moment, you know?
I hear you.
From what I understand, this man, though, is responsible for the tuchus of Big Tex being a little bigger after he burned down that time, back in 2012.
That's true.
I believe they now call Big Tex's butt the Mitch.
A few people. That's not an authorized nickname, though. So
We'll keep that in mind.
Is Big Tex bigger Tex now after that?
he is actually. He's a little bit bigger, about 3 feet taller, and yes, he had a very flat posterior,
Like a Hank
and-
Hill butt.
I seem to remember that.
Yeah, and it's still a little, but I asked that it be, plumped up a little bit, and it just didn't look normal. So now it looks a little bit more normal, and so he's a lot heavier. He can withstand 100-mile-an-hour winds. Doesn't have the guide wires on the side anymore, and he has a fire suppression system built in.
All right.
Wait, really?
See, he's been through a lot. Everybody thinks that all Big Tex has to do is get put up and then stand there for 3 weeks or whatever. No. There's a lot more to it than that.
There's a lot more to it. He can wave, he can make finger point in certain directions, talks all the time, swivel his head back and forth.
All right, we're gonna have a little bit more hyperactive Big Tex, I guess.
I'm just curious how the fire suppression works.
We haven't found out yet, but it is.
They just keep
place.
like a fireman inside him, just at all times.
At all times, yeah.
Perfect.
Just have a little fireman
a little
in
hydrant.
there. Yeah.
Now I've been in the orbit of Mitch for some year. First of all, is it Mitch or Mitchell? Which
Either
do you go
way,
with?
I go either way.
Okay. I've been in your orbit for some years now in various roles that we've both been in.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason that I can't imagine, I can't even comprehend, there's never been any real cause for us to interact.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, I've known who you were. You might have known who I am, but but as far as, you know, doing anything together or being in the same place at the same time, that has not happened. So you're seeing a first today. This is the first time we've ever certainly ever done anything like this.
Definitely. I've introduced myself to you at Jason's Deli once or twice, and I will say this: I'm honored to be in your presence. I consider you a leader. I basically think of you as the man who invented radio as I know it, because radio was something completely different until you came on the scene and basically invented the little ticket, and it has provided me thousands upon thousands of hours of enjoyment and entertainment. So thank you.
Well, thank you. You're very nice to say so.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Can we just tickle each other?
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, hey, these are new times.
He's down for it.
Yeah. I mean,
So how long have you been on the scene at the fair?
so I joined the State Fair of Texas in 1999. I worked after college. I worked for the Mavericks for about 9.5 years.
Yeah.
During the 90s.
Right. I remember that.
Very dark time during the franchise's history. Never made the playoffs during the 90s. I had 2 seasons where we won 11 games and 13 games back-to-back
Remember those?
seasons. Tough days. Was selling season tickets, became the sales manager, basically decided after 99, okay, I think I've enjoyed my time here in sports for a while, and time to go do something a little different. I was in, basically in the sales and marketing time position there at the Mavericks. And then this marketing position came open at the State Fair in 99, interviewed, got the position. Next thing I know, it's 2014, and my predecessor is retiring and transitioned into the president's role in 2014.
All right.
So this will be my 27th fair upcoming.
Oh my gosh! Really?
Shocking.
That's a lot of fairs.
A lot of
corn
fairs.
dogs.
Yeah.
What was, if we may flip back through what you just ran down, what was trying to sell the 11 and 13 win Mavericks teams to the masses like?
As you could imagine, it was very difficult. We got a lot of folks that were season ticket holders who were disgruntled, not really happy with us. So a lot of phone calls and trying to talk to people about renewing their season tickets, and then a lot of comments back about, hey, I can't give these things away. There's no way I'm going to do this again. And then, trying to talk about, hey, the future is looking really bright. We've got these young rookies coming in, and occasionally we'd miss on some draft picks here and there. And it was tough during that time period. Right after I left is when Mark Cuban bought the team and kind of turned the corner at that point. But yeah, that was a tough time.
Now, one other tertiary thing that I want to mention is your dad. Your dad was Frank Glieber.
Yes, sir.
And when I was coming up through the ranks, I was a kid just starting to figure out sports and watching them on TV. If somebody was doing sports on TV and on the radio, chances are it was Frank Glieber. Because he was absolutely the guy. And this is like, when the Cowboys were first starting out, the Dallas Texans were here. And just on ever since then, if there were sports on TV, Frank Glieber was the guy. And I would run to him. Once I got in the game, I would run into him. Our I wouldn't run into him because I was too intimidated by him to say anything.
That's the way I am right now, actually. So I know how you feel.
Full circle.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was just such a presence. He was everywhere. Like I say, if you had a sport that you needed broadcast, Frank Glieber was the guy you wanted to get. And I just had a lot of respect for him, and I don't expect you to react to this in any particular way, but I just had a lot of respect and regard for the guy.
Thank you.
And he influenced me pretty profusely, as he did all of us.
Yeah. Definitely influenced me. I'll say that. Passed away when I was 18, but certainly had a great time, growing up around him, around sports. Had that opportunity to be around him, going to games and going to Cowboys training camps in Thousand Oaks and all those types of things. But I was certainly aware of, what he was doing at all times. And I'm very honored that, now, 25, 15, 40 years later, that people still remember him. There's not many Gliebers in the world, so if I introduce myself to somebody, it's fairly common that they'll say, "Hey, are you related to Frank Glieber?" And the answer is yes, and it's been 40 years, so it's pretty amazing.
He was that kind of presence, man. Yeah. He was that kind of presence.
I often wonder what he would think of radio today, just the old KRLD radio and the sports shows and things that they would do and talk shows and things like that and how it's changed. I'm sure he'd probably look at it the way Norm probably looked at it when he first was, coming on to the ticket.
Yeah.
Just wonder how he would possibly react to that sort of situation. Fart drops and all that kind of stuff going on while he's talking.
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about fart drops, there's the source right over there.
I know who the source is.
But yeah, it would require an adjustment. And, I always, I was a little older than most of those guys and probably a little bit more familiar with Frank and Vern Lundquist and those other guys. And I tried to be, tried to keep all that in mind and be a little bit more respectful and have a little bit more regard for them and what they had done than the others might. But all that said, I can't imagine what a mind blow it would have been for them. All right, now let's get on to the fair.
Sure.
I cannot think of a larger civic undertaking that happens every year than what it must be like to string the fair together and get it up and running. How far in advance do you guys start prepping?
Well, I would say the best time to start prepping for the 26 fair, for instance, will be during the 25 fair. Because, as you know, down at Fair Park, it's a National Historic Landmark. It's building, when you put the fair together, you're building a little city, and everything that you put up must come down. So the best time to be able to look at the grounds and kind of see what's working, what's not working, where are there other opportunities, what do we want to change, is during the previous year's fair. So we'll actually be doing a lot of prep work during this year's fair. And then immediately after this year's fair, we'll start planning for 2026. We'll start talking about capital improvements that we need to make, working with the city on projects that we need to do at Fair Park to make the grounds better. So it never stops. I was telling groups this a little bit earlier. It used to be a little bit slower after the fair ended. Now, we end the fair and we're moving on and it gets busy again. So a lot of my friends give me a lot of grief and say, you only work 24 days a year, right? So, not quite.
Yeah.
That's not actually how it works.
I heard something like that. You only work 4 hours a day.
Exactly, right? So it's not like there's any prep that goes into it. So, but yeah, our team, we have a team of 67 full-time staff members that work year-round in preparation for the fair, and it takes every one of them We got a great team. They're all experts in the field, and it's the way the product works. Is it's so diverse that you have to have experts in midway rides, and you have to have experts in livestock, and experts in creative arts, and marketing, and public relations, and so on and so on. And so it's just it's very complex and diverse as far as the product goes.
Is there any one thing that goes on at the fair every year that you would say is the most difficult to get together, or the most difficult to stick the landing on, or difficult to really pull off?
I think really kind of the most difficult thing and more complex thing, I guess I would say, in terms of planning is just the overall safety and security plan.
Yeah.
That's a big deal for us, for an event that draws 2 million plus people over 24 days. That's a lot of people coming during 24 days. It's basically like having a Super Bowl every day for 24 days in terms of, the numbers of people that are coming. And so, we work, really starting early in the year in preparation for that year in terms of our safety and security plan. How are we going to change things up? Dallas Police are great partners for us. And so then, of course, we have our own private security team that we work with, and everything changes. Times have changed, so you're constantly evolving on the safety and security side. And if there's one thing that kind of keeps me up at night, it's generally going to be something related to safety and security.
Do you have a crew of maybe 3, 4, 5 guys, maybe even more than that have been with you for a long time and know what getting the fair together and getting up and running every year is all about?
Absolutely. As I said, we have about 67 full-time folks. Our team, our senior management team, we have a lot of tenure on our team.
Yeah.
So I don't know the total number of years, but I would guess that among, 10, 11 full-time senior management people, we're well over 200 years of experience out there. So, yeah, these people, they know what they're doing. They're experts at it. They know the fair like the back of their hand now, know the fairgrounds extremely well. And I'm very lucky to have a team that is as dedicated and knowledgeable about putting the fair together as our team is.
What's the attraction at the fair this year that's got you most excited?
Well, it's always the football games. We love hosting the football games every year. We have Grambling and Prairie View, which is the first Saturday of the fair. That'll be the 27th. Mm-hmm. This is the 100th year of the State Fair Classic. So it's a big deal. Our promoter, Al Wash, it's his 50th year of doing the game. And then, of course, the Red River Rivalry, Texas and Oklahoma. It's been in the Cotton Bowl since 1929. So, there's a good chance if both teams are playing well that we'll have some big national things that, like shows that'll come in, ESPN Game Day, mm-hmm. SEC Nation. And so a lot of time and energy is put into those particular events. And then everything else, as we look at the fair every year, we have a lot of folks that come back year after year. And so you kind of have to work to find that mix of new and tradition.
Yeah.
So it's always a real challenge for us each year to, make sure that we honor the traditions, the things that people want to do each and every year. But then at the same time, you need to keep the product fresh. And so just keeping that product fresh. So, we always have our main stage. We have a great lineup of folks that come to our main stage. It's one of the few fairs out there that actually has a free main stage. Most fairs have large grandstands and they sell tickets to their shows, and ours is free. So that's always a big deal for us as well.
Who you got coming in this year?
Oh boy. I know we have Wade Bowen. We have the Village People.
Nice.
We have the way we do it is we usually run our headliner acts on Friday, Saturday, Sundays,
Right.
and then we'll have regional or local talent on other days, and we try to touch all the different bases, as far as the genres of music. So we'll have a couple of big Latino acts, a couple of acts that will be big, TLC, for instance, that will be there for Grambling Prairie View. And, so we have multiple acts that really, we try to touch all the bases, and we try to say that we have something for everybody. So we need to get petty theft out there is what we need.
If you want to chase some people away, you do.
No.
For sure.
I would draw some people, I know.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
You were talking about that if the teams are in the right position, you could end up having these national shows come out for the Cotton Bowl. How far in advance do you get to know and prep for something like that?
So let's take game day because that's the biggest one, for instance. And normally they'll tell us a couple weeks in advance if such and such happens, we're very likely coming. If one of the teams loses the week before, or really just, or if there's another matchup that is in the same ballpark, we may miss out on it. But we won't know 100% certain until 1 week before the game. So they'll play that Saturday, and then on Sunday we'll get word from game day whether they'll be coming or not. SEC Nation, it's kind of new for us now with the schools being new to the SEC. They'll probably tell us a couple weeks in advance that they'll be coming.
How much of an undertaking is that then? Like, if you don't totally know, with less than a week to go, how do you prepare for either outcome, I guess?
Yeah, we've dealt with it every year, so we kind of know the drill. Our PR team is very well equipped to be able to, turn on a dime and handle those situations. They've done site checks before, so we know there's usually 1 or 2 locations that they would want to go that work well with them, that provide them the space that they need for the large number of people that they draw, and has a backdrop that works well for them. So we have a team on our PR group that actually, they have it down to a science. I mean, they can make it happen. It's a ton of work. I mean, It's a big undertaking, a lot of work, a lot of moving pieces operationally to get these things in. In the middle of the night, you can't just roll in an 18-wheeler during the day and have all this stuff set up. So it happens overnight. Our people lose a lot of sleep, but it's unbelievable exposure for the fair.
Right.
So it's a real blessing when they come.
Man, that's insane.
Every now and then, the idea of Texas OU, the Red River Shootout, or Red River Rivalry.
Tough to say, yes, sir.
Yeah. The idea of that moving to one of the other large venues scattered around our fair burg will pop up. Mm-hmm. And it just, I can't stand the thought of that.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas OU has been a part of the scene, of the fair from the time I was a kid on. Mm-hmm. And I just can't imagine that. Is there any chance that might happen?
I don't think so. I mean, that's my opinion. I know that the schools love coming to Dallas and having the game here. The fan bases love it as well. One of the biggest issues, and the reason why that is occasionally brought up, is the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
The fact that the stadium is very old. I mean, let's face it, it was built in 1930. It was built for 45,000 fans. The concourses were not equipped to be able to handle 92,000 people. And that's what the stadium holds now. So there was a lot of work to be done, and you've probably heard about it. There's $140 million worth of improvements that have been made over the past 2 years, most of them being done this past year. And it's amazing. When you see it, you will barely recognize the west side. Everything was done on the west side now.
Yeah.
Need to go back and be able to address the east side. But the west side of the stadium is something else. It looks amazing.
Well, Hope that never happens, man.
I really don't think it will. I mean, I think the schools, like I said, they love coming. It's great for them from a recruiting standpoint. You know, you turn it into a home and home, or, you know, go to another stadium, then it just becomes another game on the schedule. Still, I mean, it's a rivalry game, but it's just another game on the schedule. The thing that makes it unique is the environment of the fact that it's played in the middle of the State Fair, Texas, 92,000 seats, splitting the 50 with the fans. It's just an amazing experience.
It really is.
You need to come see the Cotton Bowl, by the way. I'll take you and give you a tour before we open if you want to come down.
I'd love that.
Check that out.
I haven't been in that place in years.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Do you think the SEC is actually going to be more supportive of the teams keeping this game at the Cotton Bowl just because of the fan
market.
base that draws the market? Yeah, just marketing the game itself is going to be pretty huge for the SEC, I would think.
I think the SEC, you know, obviously they moved into Texas. A&M was already in there, but they moved into Texas with Texas and now Oklahoma, knowing that game is going to be played in Dallas, and it brings that market to them. That it's not like the SEC didn't already have a lot of followers, but they certainly have a ton more followers now in the Dallas market because of the game being here. So they love it. SEC folks have been great to work with thus far, and they love it.
He is Mitchell Glieber. He is the man in charge of the great State Fair of Texas. And we'll have more with Mitch coming right up. But first, it's time for the dreaded and feared mid-show read.
Be scared.
What if I told you you could free yourself of pain, anxiety, and sleepless nights? And what if I told you you could do it naturally? Well, let me tell you about the CBD House of Healing, because they can help you to this end. And if you've got pain, if you are in pain, I know this is an end you would be very, very interested in finding. And the CBD House of Healing can help. They've helped me. If they can help me, they will help you, because they only carry products from their lab. They don't go out and buy stuff from anybody and mark it up and pass it on to you. They go out and make it themselves. It's made to meet the highest quality and purity standards. You can find your relief from the aches and pains of this world and the emotional stress and drain, and sleep again. Shop online at cbddallas.com or in person. They're located at Plano Road, 8550 Plano Road, Suite 101. That's at Plano Road and Northwest Highway at the burgeoning northeast corner of that intersection. So check them out over there in Suite 101. Enjoy a nice smoothie or a slush while you're there. Mm-hmm. You'll like those a lot, too. Begin your healing at the House of Healing. And effective now, all vape products will be sold online only at cbddallas.com. Is that all we got? Yep. That's it?
Okay.
All right. Excellent. Back into the good stuff. This is Mitch Glieber. He is the man in charge of the Great State Fair of Texas. He is very excited because the Great State Fair is nigh upon us here. How much downtime will you give yourself after the thing is over before you really get going for next year?
Yeah, so there's not a lot. Actually, when the fair closes, it goes away a lot quicker than it comes. I mean, it's just amazing how fast things go away. These people have been there for 24 days. well, actually longer because they've been there setting up, and they are ready to get out at the end of 24 days. We're talking about the vendors, and they have their next stops to go to. A lot of the, ride operators, for instance, or exhibitors may have another fair that they're going to on their route. So they're getting out of there pretty quick. So it takes a little bit of time to tear it down and get out. But our team, we're really start jumping into budgeting and planning almost immediately. And then December gives us a little bit of time for some of our folks to take a breath and, kind of get reacquainted with the family again. And then when we come back after the new year, hit the ground running and get things going.
Another thing that's going on at the State Fair these last few years, and it's something I always enjoy watching on TV. I don't think I have the stomach for the fight to go out there live for it, but one thing I do enjoy watching, and it's the kind of thing that is singular in that I guess others can do it, probably others do it, but in this part of the world, this can only happen at the fair, and that's the Winter Classic. How did the Winter Classic start up, and tell us how that's gone for you, and give us a little look at some of the things that go into putting that on every year.
Okay, now are you speaking of the hockey game?
Yeah.
Okay, so they just played once in the Cotton Bowl. The Stars had that one game against, I think it was Nashville.
Yeah.
We were not necessarily totally involved in that, although there was a section of our midway that we operated in conjunction with that. But as far as year-round operations of Fair Park go, we're kind of out of the loop on that. We're tenants at the park, and so we operate and run the 24-day fair. And if there's a big event like that comes up, or maybe FIFA next year, for instance, when FIFA happens and they have the big fan fest that's going to be at Fair Park, there may be an opportunity there for us to be able to open a section of the midway and do some things in conjunction with that. But the Winter Classic, we did participate in it. It was really cool. I mean, I thought that was one of the neatest events that we've had in the city of Dallas as far back as I can remember. And it was fun for us to be involved in it, but we weren't directly involved in terms of operating and coordinating it.
Gosh, somehow I got it through my head that was in conjunction with the fair, but I guess not. No. I guess it's two independent things.
Yeah, that was, I guess it was New Year's Day, if I'm
2020.
not mistaken.
Day
so
2020, right before the shutdown. But you guys did not
before the
have
shutdown.
to actually
Well,
coordinate
we were
all
out there
that, put it
working
together.
though, because the midway portion of the midway, like I said, was open, and that was part of the experience. And I think it was something that the NHL really liked. Again, kind of like the football games, it creates a really unique atmosphere to have a stadium like that and be able to open a midway and have rides and other attractions available for the fans. I'd be really surprised if they don't come back. I think they had a great experience.
Boy, I hope they do, because that was really cool.
And you never know what kind of weather you're going to get that day. You could get 70 degrees and sunny. You could have 50 degrees with like it was, or heck, it could be 20 below. You never know.
So what kind of relationship do you guys have between the State Fair and Fair Park?
So Fair Park is City of Dallas property. We have a contractual right to be able to set up, run, and tear down the State Fair. So we have the park for about a 3-month window. Now during that time, there's other events that take place during setup and tear down, for instance, that fall within our lease window. And generally, there's not a problem with it. Very rarely will they bring an event to us that we have to say, sorry, we can't accommodate that. And the only reason we would is because if there's some sort of construction going on and safety is a big issue in that area of the park. But really, that just doesn't happen. So But we have a good relationship with the city. As you may have known or heard recently, the city has retaken Fair Park over. It was being run by a nonprofit, Fair Park First, who subcontracted with the group OVG that actually was managing the day-to-day operations, and the city chose to terminate that agreement and take it back over themselves. And we're fine with whatever they want to do. I mean, it doesn't impact how we run the fair one way or the other. We have a great relationship with the city and the park department that run the grounds.
What kind of staff do you have?
We have 67 full-time folks, so they all are 100% dedicated to the 24 days of the State Fair, Texas. And, you know, we have people that kind of range in all sorts of different areas: finance, accounting, human resources, public relations, marketing, exhibits, operations, midway operations, livestock, creative arts. I mean, people all over the place. So,
man, it's a big undertaking.
There's a lot that goes into it. It's very complex, and we are kind of excited because, you know, we have our administration building is right at the top of the tunnel of the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
A little two-story building that was an old firehouse for the 1936 centennial celebration at Fair Park. But it was built in 1936, so it's extremely old, and we are busting at the seams. And so we're excited because after this year's fair, we're actually breaking ground and building a new administration building out there. So that's something that
Out
we're
there
really
on
looking
site?
forward to. Yeah, kind of back in the backside of the Midway.
Yeah.
Be brand new. Should be a beautiful facility that will take the fair into the next 50 years.
What other sorts of new attractions are we going to see this year that we have not seen maybe in recent years, if ever, at the fair?
So every year, you know, you've heard about the Big Tex Choice Awards, and so the big item when we do a lot of the things related to marketing or research on the fair, the biggest reason that people come to the fair, they say, is for the fair food.
Yeah.
So that's probably the thing that we are, you know, hanging our hat on in terms of being most famous for at this point. That, along with it just being an annual tradition. So the Big Tex Choice Awards happened recently. We had a ton of great foods that were entered into that. So you're going to have a lot of new food items to try out there this year. We will have several new shows throughout the grounds. We redefine each year our parade and our Illumination Sensation show, which is done on the Esplanade. Of course, the auto show will be back and having new models each and every year. That's a big deal for us. Lots of new exhibits that will be out there on the grounds. Few new rides that we'll have a 177-foot swing ride that will be out there on the Midway. So yeah, y'all need to come try that out.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
There was a time when I would have done that.
If y'all come out,
I wouldn't do it now, but there was a time when I would have. There was a time when I would have been all over it.
I'll put you on every ride that you want to go on, and just you can eat a corny dog and then go on a spin ride, and you know, just see what happens.
Yeah,
I did that with my dad one time when I was a kid and threw up all over him, and he never forgave me.
That's happened before. It's definitely happened.
I bet it has. Boy, it's just such an incredible undertaking that you guys put on every year. I mean, you got to know a lot. You got to know a lot of people, and you've also got to have the capacity for when something goes wrong, knowing what to do about it.
That is
and
definitely
quickly.
true. Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we do a ton of planning. You know, a lot of that's related to, as we discussed, safety and security. We have a great partnership with Dallas Police Department, and you know, we've made some changes over the past few years that have been a little controversial. You know, we banned firearms from being brought into the grounds from folks that were licensed to carry, which really is just something that is common sense to us. It makes all the sense in the world. But we caught ourselves up in a little lawsuit now with our Attorney General, who doesn't believe that that's the right thing for us to do. But we believe it's the right thing to do, and feel strongly that safety and security is the number one thing for us. And we feel like, that's the right thing, even though we're kind of caught up in a bit of a legal situation now. So,
what are some of the things you guys do to make the fair safe and secure every year?
So we have a ton of police officers that are out there, and the State Fair is through our contract with the City of Dallas. DPD comes up with the safety plan. They provide all of the officers. Of course, we pay every penny for that. We actually now have a safety team in addition to that is composed of retired Dallas police officers that sit on stands out there, and they're just an extra set of eyes and ears to help us monitor that. We have metal detectors that are coming through. We're introducing a clear bag policy this year for people as they arrive to be, bringing clear bags similar to what you would see at sporting events and things like that. We have a command center that we just built last year where it's called State Fair Command, where everybody together from Dallas Fire and Rescue to Dallas Police Department to the cleaning crew. We have representatives from all these different areas that are there that if a call comes in and help is needed, we have cameras all over the place. So we have our eyes on just about everything that's happening out there at all times. So, those are just a few things.
Anything else you would like to get out there that people are going to need to know when coming to the fair this year? Those are really kind of the main things. I would say, one thing that we always like to make sure people understand is the fair is a nonprofit organization, and the dollars that we raise through our fans, our fairgoers that attend the State Fair of Texas, go to a good cause. So we put our money back into Fair Park in terms of capital improvements, which I think everybody knows are sorely needed out there on the grounds, tons of deferred maintenance. And then we have our scholarship program that we give scholarships to the 60 ISD high schools that are closest to Fair Park, as well as kids that participate in all of our youth livestock auctions. We have a grant program for nonprofit organizations that are in the Fair Park, South Dallas area that are home right there around us. We provide about $600,000 in grants to local nonprofits in that community. And then we just started, actually, the last few years, our urban farm program. We started that in 2017, where we are now approaching 2 million servings, where we have a team that's actually on grounds in a greenhouse that sits next to the Texas Star Ferris wheel, and they grow produce because we're in a food desert there at Fair Park, and they grow this produce through a hydroponic system, and then we donate all of that produce to organizations that are right around the South Dallas Fair Park area that are in need of that sort of thing. So, I think that's something that gets lost on people a lot. Yeah, it does.
Is the fact that, we're not just a 24-day event. We are a nonprofit that is striving to make a 365-day impact and be great neighbors for the city of Dallas and for our community.
Can't wait. The Great State Fair of Texas. Cannot wait, Mitch. Thanks for coming out today and joining us here on YDC. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me very much.
A couple of other things we need to tell you about before we get going here. Should I read this first? Okay. On Thursday, the 11th of September, the OG will be live on Patreon on the first booth on the left here, and we'll be in a new spot. This is Dudley's Sports Grill up on Henderson. So come see us out there at Dudley's and join. What?
It's Grego.
Oh. And join us on Patreon. This is set up to look like a sports book straight out of Vegas, they tell us, with an amazing lounge in the back. Dudley's is where you want to watch all the games. Now, if you've not been there yet, You want to check it out? We can scarcely think of a better time than Thursday. The 11th of September, we'll be there at 5 o'clock. It is the OG Shooping, Grego, me, for a little 30-second sports.
30 minute.
30 minutes, I'm sorry. You know, not 30.
I was going to say, with as much as Ashley's worked, I think she's cool with 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm sure she would be cool with it.
Thursday is a special.
To tell you the truth, I would too.
Thursday is a special 9/11.
Oh, that's right. It is. That's 9/11. So everybody get festive out there with
Well, no. But I
What?
believe y'all are going to maybe recap your memories of doing the shows back then and all that.
How difficult it actually was.
So you got this all planned out for us, do you?
Something like that.
All right. Well, that'll be the 11th, September 11th, 5 o'clock, Dudley's on Henderson for the OG. There's nothing you can do with it. There's nothing at all that you can do with us.
And the great State Fair of Texas will open on the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
The
That is
26th.
correct.
16 days, man.
16 days, 24 days of fun.
Yay.
Okay, I had another thing I was going to tell you, but I lost it on the teleprompter. So,
Oh, God.
oh, here we go. Here we
Oh.
go. Yeah, I know. I did. You can find all of our episodes, is what I want to tell you. You can find them all on our Patreon page. Thing to those of us who swim in the waters of the podcast. And while we're at it, if you're feeling what we're throwing down, how about a nice review? If you're by the channel on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you can help others find us by leaving a review. Thanks to Mitch Glieber. Thanks to Shoopy. Thanks to Ashley. Thanks to Becca. Most of all, thanks to you for watching Your Dark Companion. Bye.
All right. I'm gonna go take my pants off.
Your Dark Companion is a Stolen Water Media presentation.